untuk manajemen waktu saya. Selain itu juga teman-teman di sini semua tentunya ingin saya berbagi informasi dan juga berbagi pengalaman yang saya dapatkan, yaitu lingkungan itu sangat mempengaruhi sekali internalisasi mindset kita ke depannya seperti apa. Ketika kita bergaul dengan orang-orang yang hebat, dengan orang-orang yang rajin belajar, orang-orang yang punya semangat besar, orang-orang yang punya mimpi besar, kita akan terbawa untuk menjadi orang yang kita akan terbawa untuk keraguan adalah musuh utama dari kesuksesan. Selalu berpikir optimis dan positif. Lakukan tindakan yang Anda dalam pikirkan dan apapun hasilnya. Jangan jadikan keraguan berpikir sebagai batasan Anda untuk mengembangkan diri. Quote menurut Franklin Roosevelt. Di mana salah satu kunci sukses ketika Anda sudah mengatur time management Anda, yaitu Anda harus berpikir optimis. Saya optimis, saya sukses, saya maju, saya hebat nantinya. Saya dapat membanggakan kedua orang tua saya dapat membantu orang-orang di sekitar saya, dan juga positif. Dengan Anda punya internalisasi mindset yang optimis dan positif, tentunya Anda setiap hari, dari hari ini, besok, Anda akan melakukan hal-hal yang positif.
Hi, this is Don Howe, and the topic for this golden nugget is managing your time. And I'd like to illustrate this by sharing a well-known story. Once upon a time, a professor was teaching a class about time management, and the professor set a 1-gallon glass jar on the table and filled it up with pretty good-sized rocks. He then said to the students, "Is the jar full?" They replied, "Yes, it's full." And then he pulled out a bag of pebbles and he poured them into the jar. As he did, he shook the jar so that the pebbles sifted down through the holes between the rocks. Eventually, the pebbles reached the top of the jar, and once again, he looked at the class and said, "Is the jar full?" The students cautiously answered, "Yes." And then he pulled out a bag of sand and he did the same thing, pouring and shaking until the sand reached the top of the jar. This time, when he looked at the students and said, "Is the jar full?" they said, "No." He smiled. He pulled out a pitcher of water. He poured it into the jar until the water reached the top of the jar. And then he looked at the students and he said, "What was the point of this illustration?" And one young man jumped up and said, "I know. No matter how full your schedule is, if you try hard enough, you can always fit some more things into it." The professor shook his head and replied, "That's not the point I was trying to illustrate. The point I was trying to illustrate is that if you don't put the big rocks in first, you'll never get them all in. If you fill your jar first with pebbles or sand or water, then there won't be any room for the rocks. If you allow the small things to take up all of your time, then you won't be able to accomplish the bigger things. Figure out what your highest priorities are and do your best to work first on those things that move you towards your goals. Once your goal-related activities are scheduled, then you can fill the rest of your schedule with all those other activities that are less important but still need to be done. Of course, you know this already, but the illustration of the rocks in the jar is a good reminder to schedule your highest priorities first. I imagine that you do this because that's what winners do, and you are a winner, and given enough time, you will win. Yes! You are a winner!
Thank you for listening to this Golden Nugget by Don Howe. To learn more about Don's free sales success system or to have a free success audio like this one sent to you each weekday, please visit donhowsuccess.com. That's DonHoweSuccess.com.